Making news tonight. Stakeholders sue for implementation of violence against persons prohibition law in Cross River State. Cross River State Governor's wife, Ayon support parent of quadruplex children in Obudu local government area. Plus, Ministry of Aviation and Aerospace introduced helicopter landing levies in Nigeria. Details of these and more shortly. Good evening and welcome to NTA News at 7. I am Erika Evie, now the news in details. The wife of the Cross River State Governor, Ayon has fulfilled her promise to provide further support to the parent of quadruplex children in Kikong village of Obudu local government area. Mr. and Mrs. John Obikan, the couple were promised decent accommodation in Obudu town, away from the Kikong village where they were living, as well as a livelihood such as a provision store from which they could earn daily income. Their new residential apartment away from the village would bring them closer to basic social amenities like potable water, electricity, a good hospital, and markets. The First Lady advised the parent to make judicious use of all the supplies and their business for the family, especially for the surviving children. The father of the quadruplex, Mr. John Obikan, thanked the First Lady and promised not to undermine her good intentions toward his family. Although the Cross River State government has domesticated the violence against person prohibition law, the non-implementation of this law is resonating concerns from stakeholders who believe strengthening relevant institutions to ensure its implementation will stem the tide of gender-based violent cases in the state and the country. These came to the fore at a capacity building on the implementation of VAPP law in Cross River State and community-based sensitization campaign. Maureen Leo Ajam reports that the event was organized by an NGO Stand to End Rape initiative.
Sexual and gender-based violence continue to be a pervasive and persistent issue in Nigeria, with Cross River State being no exception. SGBV has devastating physical, emotional, and psychological consequences for women and girls, perpetuating gender inequality and hindering social and economic development. Research shows that in Cross River State, sexual and gender-based violence is at a disturbing prevalence of 42% in the South-South, while UNFAPA research shows 65.5% of women of reproductive age in the state have experienced physical violence since the age of 15. And in 2023, between January to October, a total of 586 recorded incidents of GBV are said to be recorded in the state. Despite numerous initiatives and policies aimed at addressing gender-based violence, the problem persists, and women in Cross River State are said to face significant challenges in exercising their rights and exercising their full potentials. Stakeholders, however, at the workshop were exposed to the background of the VAP Act 2015, while underscoring the imperative of full implementation of the VAP law.
The whole training is to put stakeholders together to brainstorm on the best ways of implementing this law towards a safe society devoid of violence in all ramifications.
We chose Cross River State because we saw a lot of potential here. This is a state where the First Lady and the Governor are leading the VAP implementation efforts themselves. So we thought this would be a great place for us to start in the south, in southern Nigeria, and particularly in the South-South region.
What to do to get this law down the line? One, There are few copies of this law. There is need to print more copies so that programs like this will be avenues to share such copies, so that people will read and know what the law talks about. It might also be very, very interesting to get the law translated in the very local languages so that those who have the greater competence to get the meaning of the law in their native dialects will be able to do that.
What then is the way forward?
We're actually expecting that we'll be able to identify some of these laws that have not even been passed by the state, so that when Her Excellency has a visit, which is part of the work plan we have for 2024, to the House of Assembly, we'll be able to work with the stakeholders to see what has not been domesticated, whatever is holding it. This meeting is expected to let us also know the challenges we are having and the steps we need to take to be able to implement and then also domesticate some laws that violate women and children's rights in the state.
The advocacy is on the sensitization and on the implementation component of the law, with relevant institutions being strengthened to ensure enforcement of the VAP law. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
The Nigeria Association of Women Journalists Cross River State Chapter congratulates Achibon Bassey as the first female state chairman of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, NUJ Cross River State Council. Achibon Bassey, who is a female journalist with the Nigeria Television Authority NTA Chapel, Calabar, replaces Nsa Gil, who was recently appointed as Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Cross River States. Senator Bassey too now would felicitate with Achibon Bassey for standing tall and breaking the jinx to be the first female state chairperson to usher a new dawn in the states. The association urges women to rally around her and support her administration wholeheartedly so as to raise the bar higher for the young women to emulate. That is the news. Thanks for watching.